Going on? It's your boy Jason Dowdy. Today, I want to talk about how you can use reverse in intros and transitions. So, if you give me the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go into FL Studio and show you how to reverse things, how to use reverb, how to use that in an intro and a transition. Just an easy demo, right? My name is Jason Dowdy. I have been an artist and producer for over 20 years, working with people like Timbaland and Aaliyah, and I help independent artists learn how to produce for themselves so they can take their career to that next level. Now, if you'd like a free training on how to create a professional quality track in less than 2 hours, just using FL Studio and free things you can find on the internet, you don't need any music theory knowledge. You don't need any experience. You'll be able to just create a professional sounding track in 2 hours. If you want that free training, just write the word yes, YES, in the comments below, and I will DM that over to you. So let me go ahead and hop into it. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, let me take a look. All right, I'm going to share this screen and share the audio. There we go. All right, so we're in FL Studio, and I'm going to keep this very, very simple, but you can use this for any audio that you have, any track that you have. It's just a great way to create a build naturally. So you can have like a built-in riser that automatically complements your track because it's using the same instruments. You're just reversing it, right? So I just have a piano and a crash. There's a chord and a crash right now. I'm gonna turn that crash down a little bit. It's a little loud, but yeah, there we go. All right. So, for one thing, there's a little bit of reverb and tail end built into the sample that I brought in here, right here. So I'm just gonna solo that real quick. So all I'm gonna do first is reverse the sample. So if you have an audio in there, a WAV file, you can just go in. You're gonna want to create a new one. So I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna hit clone. There we go. So now we have Broken Crash 2. And I'm just going to put this up in the same channel, but I'm going to flip it. And the way you can reverse it is double click, go right down here and just click reverse. So it's that easy. And then I'm going to slide it over here right where this one starts. So I have to zoom in a bit. We're going to move this to quarter step. We may have to move it to none. We'll see in a minute. Yeah, looks like we have to move it to none. And if you don't know, this magnet link lets you know how granular you can get with your grid. So what they call, there's a bar, a beat, a step, right? And every interval in between. I'm just going to go to none so we can get down to the lowest level. And there we go. It's right up against that. So let's go ahead and play that. All I've done is reverse the crash symbol. So you're going to have a build up into that chord and that crash. So let's take a listen. And I'm going to turn the chord back on here. Here we go. There we go. So we got that building up to it. And the second thing I want to do is reverse this piano sound. But this is a little bit different because it's not a wave sample, right? So we actually need to render this as a wave sample and then reverse it. So the best way to do that is we're going to, well, let me do it this way. There's a couple ways to do it. You can consolidate the track. You can put it in Edison. I'm going to do it the very easiest way that I know how. Hold on, I need to create a session folder. And for every session that I do, I have a folder created. I'm just going to call this reverse demo. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to render. I'm going to solo this channel here, this playlist track, and I'm just going to render the piano sound. So I'm going to drag it to the beginning, and I'm going to drag everything over. Well, I'm going to render all of it. So let's just do this way. So I'm going to File. I'm going to go Export, Wave File. I'm going to call this Reverse Piano. I'm going to put it into my session folder, which I just opened one on my desktop. I'd recommend having a session folder for every project that you do. Just organizes everything, makes it a little bit easier to do. You want to make sure the split mixer tracks is not selected, and I'm going to hit start, and it just rendered the audio. So now I'm going to go and drag that wave file, that newly made wave file, into this session. And the way you do that is you go to your session file, which is right. Oh, it's not showing up yet. So sometimes you have to reread the structure. So go up here, click this little arrow that's bending to the left where it says reread structure. There we go. Now you can see the session file or the session folder that I created. Reverse demo is what it's called. And I'm going to pull that in. So now you can see that it's a WAV file. And I'm just going to do what I did with the other WAV file. I'm going to reverse it. There we go. And I'm going to cut off half of it because as you can hear at the very beginning, there's no audio. And the audio really doesn't start until then. So I'm just going to go to quarter step. I'm going to get it as close to the intro to when that chord hits right here. Get it as close to that as you start. And if you zoom really close in, you can see there's a little bit of a tail end where it looks like there's no audio there or it tails off. You really want it to build right up into it. So I'm just going to cut that little part off right here and bring it right into the piano. Okay. All right. I'm going to drag this over. So let's listen to the whole thing. So we should have a nice build up into that piano chord and crash. There we go. The crash is doing something funny. So I'm going to do a little something different with the crash. It's not really, you can see from the waveform that it does a dip, right? So it goes, it's like, this is the highest point of the crash, and then it dips down here, and then it hits the highest point of the crash again. So I'm just going to drag this over a little bit. So it at the highest point of the crash, when it has the most transients, it's going to go into the next part, and I'm going to do the same with this file. So the highest point of the crash, I'm actually going to bring it even more over here. The highest point of the crash is right there. So this should put that nice transient in there. And it's still a little weird, just a little bit more. Sort of, kind of. I have a little work to do on that, but you get the idea, right? You can reverse sounds to lead up into your intro, and probably all it needs is a good kick or something right there at the beginning. Let me drag one in and see what that sounds like real quick. I know this is going over 5 minutes, but I just want it to sound the way I want it to sound. So bear with me. All right, so we got a gas pack. I'll just pull a kick in, any kick. Here we go. That still doesn't sound right. But anyway, you get the idea of how to use reverse. I hope this has been helpful to somebody out there. I hope this, especially if you're a new user to FL Studio. Hey, what's up? What's up, Demetrius Dino? What's going on? I see you in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. You can use reverse for not only intros or anytime you need a build to go into the next section. So you can use it for a transition. You could even use it in an outro for that matter. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Like I mentioned before, if you'd like a free training on how to create a professional sounding track in less than 2 hours using FL Studio, free stuff you can find on the internet, just write the word yes, YES in the comments below, and I'll DM that over to you. But until then,